Welcome back to Impact Math with Miss Taylor. Alrighty, we're going to be doing some Asvab inequalities questions. So it says solve the following inequality. So whenever you have a number attached to a parenthesis, that means you're going to distribute, which that means you're going to multiply here to here, okay? So really we're going to be doing 2 over 3 times 6 over 1x minus 2 over 3 times 9 over 1, okay? And I'm going to drop down everything else. So, now you can multiply straight across like this. You could do 2 times 6, 12, and then divide it by 3. Or like I always like to tell my students, get in the habit of cross simplifying. So if we cross this out, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4x. And then 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. And then we can drop down the plus 4. Greater than, this is greater than, 5x plus 1, okay? Now, we have some like terms here. We have this negative 6 plus 4. So we can combine those. And we have 4x minus 2 is greater than 5x plus 1. We want the x's, see how the x's are on the left side? So we're going to move this 5x over here. So we're going to minus 5x to both sides because it is a positive 5x. So we have to do the opposite. So that's minus. 4 minus 5 is negative 1x. Minus 2 is greater than 1. Okay. Now we need to move this negative 2 to the other side. And we're going to do that by doing the opposite of minus. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. We're going to drop down this negative 1x greater than 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. Let me go down a little bit so you guys can see it. Now we want x by itself. You have to think about how these are connected. They're connected by multiplication. So what undoes multiplication is division. So we can divide by a negative 1. Now this is what most people forget when they get into inequalities. Whenever you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip that inequality. So it would be x is less than negative 3. So D would be our answer. Alrighty, let's go on to the next. If 2 plus x is greater than or equal to 4, then x is greater than or equal to what? So we want to get x by itself. So we want to move this positive 2 to the other side. So we have to think about what undoes a positive. Well, if we minus 2 to both sides, then we have x is greater than or equal to, and then 4 minus 2 is 2. So B would be our answer. Okay. Number 3, solve for x. Okay, now if you notice in your answers, your x is on the left side. So we want to get rid of this positive 2x. So we want to undo the positive. So we're going to minus 2x to both sides. This cancels. And then 4 minus 2 is 2x. Drop down your plus 8 greater than 7. And now we need to move over our positive 8 to the other side. Well, if you're moving it to the other side, you have to do the opposite of a positive. So we're going to minus 8 to both sides. So we get 2x is greater than, and then 7 minus 8 is negative 1. Okay. Now we want x by itself. Let me get a better green. 2x greater than negative 1. And since the 2 is connected through multiplication, we can divide both sides by what's with the x, which is 2. So we have x is greater than -1/2. So C would be our answer. Thank you so much for supporting this channel by watching, liking, and subscribing. Please share with whoever you know this will benefit. And let's go on to the next. Number 4. Which number line illustrates the answer to 2a greater than 4? Okay, so first we want to solve this for a. And remember, whenever you have a number attached to a letter called a variable, they're multiplied together. So to undo multiplication, we have to divide by 2 to both sides. So we say a is greater than 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now, whenever you just have a greater than or less than sign, it's an open circle, okay? It's a closed circle if it had the line underneath the inequality. That means equal. So we know A is out because it's a closed circle. So now we're looking for either B or D because we got 2 here. Now you just look at which way is the arrow pointing. Well, the arrow is pointing to the right, so it has to shade to the right. And if you understand that this is greater than, then all the numbers greater than will be shaded. And so since 3, 2.5, all this is greater than 2, D is our answer. So remember, open circle if you have just a greater than or less than without the line underneath. If it has the line underneath, it's a closed circle. That means it's included. All right, number 5. Solve for x. 5 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 14 plus 6x. Now, as you notice, our x's are all on the left side. So I'm going to move this positive 6x to the left side. So how do I do that? I do the opposite of plus, which is minus 6x to both sides. And so we're going to drop down the 5. Now, -3 minus 6. Somebody borrowed $3 from you and they said, let me get 6 more. Well, they owe you $9. Okay, drop down the 14. Now we need to bring this positive 5 to the other side. So we're going to minus 5 to both sides because we're doing the opposite of positive. We're going to drop down our -9x greater than 14 minus 5 is going to be 9. Now we need x by itself. So remember, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied. So we have to divide by -9 to both sides. So x. Now, if your brain is saying switch this sign, excellent. If it's not, make sure it does when you take the test. Okay, you have to flip this sign because you're dividing by a negative number. You only flip the sign when you're dividing by a negative or timesing by a negative number. So 9 divided by -9 is -1. So B would be our answer. Alrighty, I hope this helps. You have a wonderful, blessed day, and I most definitely will catch you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.